Hey, this is Zach with the IE Advocates. And when I'm at a conference, I love going up to a speaker after they finish sharing some great ideas and asking them a simple question. How can some of these things that you're talking about impact some of the millions of employees out there that are also family caregivers? Let's find out. Welcome to the Caregiver Lens. Hey, Zach, I'm back at SHRM 26, and I'm here with Veronica Segovia Bedon.
That's right.
Almost as tough as Demopoulos.
Almost.
She also was on stage just a little while ago talking about caregiving, which is my favorite topic, her favorite topic. She is the program managing director for AARP. Now, a lot of people, when you think of AARP, what do you think of? Well, not you, because you work for them.
I think of my card and my AARP Now app
That's
that
right.
I've had for a very long time.
Red, she's wearing red,
I'm wearing
right?
red, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But since my audience is HR, employers, managers, working caregivers,
Yes.
I think what you shared today, and you're going to do a little quick recap for us, is critical because AARP has some valuable resources. So tell us a little bit about some of these resources that you were talking about on stage.
Yeah, well, thank you. So as you mentioned, I'm the Program Management Director for Caregiving and Health Programs at AARP. And we design education that gets delivered through our state offices. AARP has state offices in every state. We've got outreach directors who lead volunteers who do a lot of education. I've also got an intern who helps me with some of our education. Sam, come say hi. Come say hi to everybody on LinkedIn. Sam's an MBA candidate at SHRM. And he's taking an HR class. So what better way to learn about HR than to come to the SHRM conference with us, right?
Nice, Sam.
Yeah, so some of those resources that I really hope people walked away with remembering can be found at aarp.org/caregiving workshop. We host 12 different topics of workshops, either through ERGs or through a benefits lead or through an HR team. We show up, we do those workshops for free, and we connect caregivers to resources through those workshops. Topics like self-care for caregivers. Actually, in the SHRM app, the brand new self-care workbook for caregivers is actually in there if you find my session.
That's cool.
You could search my name or Carly's name. Carly Chase is who interviewed me. And you can find that self-care workbook. It's in there, the PDF, for free for you. You can take a look at it. And if you work in HR or you're trying to figure out how to support your caregivers, the 4 pillars of well-being for caregivers are really outlined there really well, along with action items, steps people can take. Because sometimes people, they don't know what questions to ask, and they also don't know what to do next. They need something like, what do I do? How do I take care of myself?
Which one's your favorite workshop?
Of all of them, I think Sandwich Generation. And I'll say that because I'm part of the Sandwich Generation.
Yes.
I've got a 7-year-old, a 3.5-year-old, a 93-year-old dad, 79-year-old mom.
Another full house.
And I've got a 40-year-old sister. And yes, there were 7 of us in my house 2 years ago, 2 weeks before I started in this job. My dad fell.
Veronica, be sure, I'm sorry to hear about that. I really am, but
he's okay. I was able to discharge him. He went back home, but we had to have lots
They got you in charge. You're in good hands.
We had to have a lot of hard conversations that people don't want to have, right?
Yeah.
He didn't want to do his PT. He was cursing at the OT person. He's yelling at me, yelling at my sister. He really wanted to go home.
You can write this workshop, right?
And I said to him, I said, Dad, I want you to go home too. I want you to be here as long as you want to be here.
Oh, awesome.
But you've got to do this PT so that you can go home safely. When you go home, it's going to be so that you can do it safely. And eventually, I was able to discharge him from my house and send him home, and he's home now.
Yeah,
right?
good job.
That was 2.5 years ago.
Where were you when I was trying to do that with my Greek dad? I think it's cultural.
Well, my dad's from Paraguay, so I don't know what's easier.
My dad would only go if he can talk to all the pretty girls at physical therapy, and after it ended, he stopped physical therapy altogether. One workshop I'd love you to just comment on because we think it's really critical. Selma and I will get asked to do a webinar for a company. We hesitate because let's say we do a really great webinar, which we will, but then somebody in the attendees will be like, this is good stuff. They go to their manager and start asking questions or saying, hey, I want some time off. That could blow up and it could be a negative thing. So you have management training. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we do, and that's free too. We have a manager's guide
to
creating a caregiver-friendly workplace, and managers need that help. Look, middle managers especially, they are taxed too, and some of them are caregiving themselves, right? But it's really hard to be a middle manager today. You've got a lot on top of your plate, and you're not getting paid more to manage people or deal with interpersonal dynamics. But empathy is just one very key trait that managers need and should have. A lot of times people are promoted into people management for doing a good job or achieving really high goals around business imperatives. They're not put into people management positions simply because they're a people person or understand emotions or have that emotional intelligence or are really strong in empathy, right? And that's where this cultural care culture, like that's where this cultural training is really helpful, right?
I love that.
And so that you can create that care culture that you talk about in your book.
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
So
empathetic questions are so easy. People are like, I'm not empathetic. Everybody is. You can train it. Simon Sinek said that today. Did you go to the general session? Simon Sinek was here, and in his talk, he said that you can actually teach empathy. I'll do one real quick for you. Ready? Instead of asking on a Monday morning, hey, how you doing? And you're going to think work, deadlines and stuff like that, right? What if I asked you a question like, hey, Veronica, what's something kind of difficult you've been through this past weekend?
Or what if you just say, hey, how's your family?
Oh, there you go. Okay, we got to wrap up. But last thing, please share. I love that you talked about 3 C's and then you brought in a bonus C.
Yeah.
So can you share what are these C's about and what are they?
Yeah. So I've just been toying around personally with this idea of, because people ask me all the time, what are 3 things that employers can do to support caregivers today? And I've been toying around with this concept of 3 C's. So sorry for the alliteration, but it's helpful, right, to have those. So it's connect, communicate, and champion. Right? And so really, champions, you need those champions. You need people like you need people like me, but you also need people like Emily Dickens in the C-suite talking about caregiving, the challenges, because there are caregivers in the corner office, like your book mentions also, right?
Yes.
There are caregivers in a corner office.
Yes.
And sometimes they're cornered in that office. They feel very cornered. You need to communicate. You need to over-communicate. What are the benefits that you have for caregivers? And they might be benefits that you don't realize are helpful to caregivers. Did you know the number 1 point of stress for a caregiver is their finances? So what kind of benefits do you have that are helping your employees with their personal finance? Planning for the future? What legal resources or legal benefits do you have? Because our legal benefit helps me not only with my own will and testament, but I get a discount for my parents, right? So those kinds of resources are really helpful. Mental health benefits, you've got to make those connections, because when people are feeling burnt out, and people weren't talking about mental health 5 years ago in the workplace, but we're talking about it now. So making that connection, and that brings me to that third C, right? The third C of connection, which is creating those safe spaces, connecting people to one another, because you're not alone. We're both caregivers. We didn't know each other more than a year ago, but we are both caregivers, and we're sitting in a room of people. By the way, 1 in 4 US adults is caregiving, and almost a third of us are in that sandwich generation. So you are not alone. So that connection is really helpful. And then I'm gonna go throw 3 more C's at you, which is 2 of them are care culture, right? To create that care culture, you need these 3 C's. And then to actually make it happen, you need courage. You need that courage to cross the line into action. Channel
we got
your
people
inner,
you can't see it, but we got people nodding their heads right now.
Channel that inner guru that you have. Tap somebody that can help you feel really confident, but you need courage to cross the line into action to support your employees. And that's how you're gonna sustain all the great things that you do. Whoever's listening to this, whatever your business does, whatever your bottom line is, caregiving is going to impact that.
You seem like you have a little passion around this stuff.
Yeah, I had a double espresso this morning.
Veronica, thank you so much,
You're
and thank
welcome.
you for everything that you do on behalf of 63 million caregivers out there. And thanks for tuning in. Be sure to go, once again, where's the website they can go to get the...
Oh, thank you. AARP.org/caregiving workshop. And that's where you can find the resources I mentioned, the self-care workbook that just came out, and all the workshops that I talked about, including the manager training.
Awesome. Thank you, Veronica. And thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.